Hi everyone, good morning, a great big welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. My regular disclaimer that this is an adult only colouring channel and my videos are in no way intended for or aimed at children. Okay, so in this video I would like to do a review and first impressions of this beautiful set of nylon brush pens which I have been really kindly sent for review by Colorya. Okay, so in this set we have 50 premium nylon brush pens and 2 water tank brushes. Now, before we get into taking these out of the case and having a look, I would just like to let you guys know that what I will do is in the description of this video, I will post the Amazon links for you to be able to purchase these brush pens. I have the link for Amazon UK and I think I can get a link for the US as well. I will double check that for you. But also Colorya have a Facebook group, so if you want to go and check that out, please do. It's a really lovely group and I have the link for that in the description to this video for you as well. Any questions or queries, please feel free to leave them down in the comments, or alternatively you can email me, and then if it's something I'm not sure about, I'm sure I can find the information that you require for you and let you know. Okay, so the set of brush pens come in this really nice case, and then it has this sort of like a decorative wrap around here, which has got all of our information there on the front, and this has got a really painterly effect, which I imagine is the same kind of effect you can achieve with the brush pens. And then here we have some information about them on the back. So they are perfect for colouring, hand lettering, bullet journaling and much more. They're water-based and they are non-toxic. So there's a little bit of information here for you. And then down the bottom it says, let your creativity run wild and have an amazing, colourful adventure with your new nylon brush pens. And then some information down here for you. So if we just take this really pretty sleeve off of the case, so this is the case that they come in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is the case that the brush pens come in. It's a really nice sturdy material with a little sort of like rubber Colorya emblem there down on the corner. Really sturdy and nicely made. It has one zip, so if we did that and then open it, oh, okay, really nice. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed is the really nice black barrels to these brush pens, and can you see just down here on the bottom they have like some white decorative detail there. So here it says Colorya nylon brush pen, and then the really lovely thing is that if I just hold this up to the camera, it has the colour name and number on the barrel for you as well, which is great. I know many of us colourists really appreciate that detail on our markers and pencils and such like. So we have the black barrel and a clear lid, so you can see the colour through the lid, which is really nice. And then we also have a colour chip here on the end of the marker. It feels really nice and smooth, very lightweight. And then if we just remove the lid, and here is our brush tip. Just hold that up a little bit closer for you. There we go. Really, really nice. And the lid, yeah, it fits really nicely on the end of your brush pen. So whilst you're using it, you can put your lid here for safekeeping. Alternatively, if you don't want to keep your lid on the end of your pen, you can put it on your desk. And because it has this, I don't know if you can see, it has like this little groove here. So that will prevent the lid from rolling off of your surface, which again is a really, really nice detail. So here is the first band of colours. Let me turn it over. Really, really lovely selection of colours here. Okay, so that's silica gel, so we can get rid of that. Okay, and then here are our water tank brushes. So let's have a look at these. If I can get them out. So let's have a look. So we've got two water tanks. Okay, so the first is like a small flat square brush, which I imagine this would be really great for like backgrounds or larger areas. That would be really useful. I'm not used to using their brush tips like that, but I can see the benefits of using one. And then here is our other one. I'll take the lid off. Yep, the lid sits nicely on the end there. I didn't check on the other one. Yeah, nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then here is our brush tip for this one. So this is a round tip. It tapers down into a really nice point on the end. It's quite a long bristle, but I really, really like that. It feels really nice and soft. So yeah, I like that. So there's our water brush pens there. So we get 50 colours. And then, I don't know if you guys noticed, this was inside as well, which is lovely. So it's, okay, so it's like a little thank you card. Join our colouring community. And then you can scan the QR code with your camera phone and join the colouring group on Facebook. So if you want to scan that, I'll hold that up to the screen for you. If you want to pause and scan the QR code, it's there. And then we have this really lovely mandala image on the front. That's really pretty. And this is printed on a very heavy card, which is great. So not only is it like a thank you note and a code to get into the Facebook group with that, but you could also colour this, maybe give it as a gift or put it in a frame. That would be really nice. So I think this is a really, really nice touch, and it's a lovely size as well. Really, really nice size. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. Now for the fun part. So I'm just going to move the markers to the side, and I do have the Colorya Mandalas colouring book. I was very kindly sent this for review by Colorya quite some time ago, and I am aware that they have brought out another book since then. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to try out the brush pens in this book, and then I will also try them on another paper, which will be in my Hannah Lynn Enchanted Faces pocket size book, just to compare how the brush pens react on different kinds of paper. So let me put that one to the side for the moment. Okay, so for this video, I am going to try these brush pens out on the beautiful nameplate page. Now this is printed on a really lovely thick, smooth cardstock. I love this so much. I have coloured a few mandalas in here. I have done a couple. There's one there, that one. So yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful book. So I'm just trying to think of a few things I may need. Okay, so let's find, for this leaf here, let's find a really nice green. Now, I love how these are set out in the case. I just think having them in a case just adds a really nice touch of quality to them, which I really like. Okay, so I've grabbed 2 greens. I've grabbed the emerald green, which is number 340, and the wheatgrass green, which is 310. So what I'm going to do is zoom you in a little bit. Okay. And then we're just going to put these down on the paper and see what we think. Okay, the lid doesn't want to sit very securely on that one. No. Okay, so I'm just going to put that lid there to the side. Oh wow, okay. These are so smooth on this paper. Oh my gosh. Look at that colour. So vibrant. Now, because these are brush pens, obviously the nibs can be quite fragile, so you know, because they're brushes, you don't need to put a lot of pressure at all. You literally let the bristles of the brush do the work there for you. Really lovely. I love this colour. Bright green is one of my favourite colours. So this was a no-brainer. I had to try this colour. Lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm now going to grab the emerald green. Okay, the lid, yeah, the lid sits on nicely on that one. Okay, so let's see if we can do like a little bit of blending. So add a little bit, and then while that's still wet, go in with the lighter green. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Yeah, nice. I do still have a noticeable line here, but that's okay. It may be that I just need to, yeah, there we go. Just work that colour in a little bit more. There we go. Beautiful. That's really lovely. I really like how that's blending. Okay, so you do have to work quite quick and try and get that blend done while the ink is still wet. But yeah, that's working beautifully. Really happy with that. So back to the emerald green. These are just working a dream on this paper. And this is not taking much effort at all. I'm by no way proficient in blending with markers, but this just seems really kind of effortless, which I love. I really love that. Okay, so let me just hold that up for you. Can you see? That's so lovely. And let's just have a look on the back. Okay, so on the Colorya paper, as you can see, there's hardly any bleed through whatsoever. Just a little spot here, which is here. I'll probably added a little bit, too much saturation to the page. So it does feel a little bit rough, but that may well be because the marker is, not completely dry. But I do really, really love that. Okay, so another thing I'd like to try is, let's grab this one. Oops. Okay, so this is the rose purple, which is number 560. Now what I'm going to try and do on this one is put a little bit of this colour down and then blend it out with a water brush pen. Now I was really unprepared. I didn't bring any water with me to fill up the water tanks that come in the set, so I will use those in a separate video. But I do have an Arteza real brush, water brush. I've only got a little bit of water left in this, but it'll do for, for the see, that one's not sitting on too tight either. Well, yeah, I guess once you get it past, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is take the lid off that one and make sure I've got that ready. Oh, I've still got glitter on it from previous use. Okay, so let's put a little bit of this pink colour down, and then while that's still wet, I want to see if I can activate it with a water brush. That doesn't look like it's activating too well. Let's try and get a bit more pigment down. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's blending out too well on that one. Let me try a different colour. Let's go for let's try purple. Oops. Okay, it's certainly, when I'm going over the marker, it's definitely lightening that pigment, but I just can't seem to be able to drag that colour with the water. Let me try blending them like we have on the leaves. Let's try that. So we've got the pink, the purple. Let's try that on this bit. Okay, there's the purple, and then back in with the pink. Okay, try again on this one. Okay, so I'm noticing that they're blending really lovely when they're used together, but with the water brush, no, not so much. So that's a little bit disappointing. But when you're just using the markers, if you take, the water brush out of the equation, they're working amazing, and this is drying really nicely as well. Okay, so another thing I wanted to try was to put a little bit of the pigment on a palette and then pick it up with a water brush and then use these as kind of like a paint. So let's try that. So we'll do a little bit of the pink and some green. So I'm just using a plastic palette, and then I'm going to grab my water brush to make sure I've got water coming out, and then I'm just going to pick up the pigment like this. Okay, right, so that works much better if you scribble some of the pigment into a palette and then pick it up with a water brush. That's beautiful. You can get a really, really lovely painterly effect with that, which I love. That's really, really lovely. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, let's try some of the pinky purple colour. Okay, so even though the colours are of course toned down because you're picking them up with water, they're still working really, really nice. And like I said, you get beautiful painterly effects with them. And doing it this way as well, as you can see, a little goes a long way. I really like that. Okay. And then finally, let's just try 2 more colours to blend. Let's do, should we do some blues? How about that? Let's see. We've got, let's try that one and okay, so I'm now going to be trying the Ocean Blue, which is 430, and Azure Blue, which is 440. So just, okay, so yeah, even though the lid feels wobbly like that, when you try pulling it, it has clamped, so it may feel a little bit loose, but yeah, same as that one doesn't feel so wobbly. Okay, so let's try a little bit of this blue. Let's come over, let's try here. So we'll go for the darker blue first, and then we'll go in okay, maybe we could do with a little bit of a darker blue. Let's try that one. Cobalt blue. Okay, we'll give that a go. So cobalt blue and ocean blue. And again, I'm just trying to activate them there to blend while they're still wet. I think that's working really, really lovely. I'm really impressed using them like this. They're beautiful, beautiful pens. Bit more there. I'm having a lot of fun, as you can probably tell. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, they blend really, really nicely. really, really lovely. Here is where it didn't quite work with the water. Mind you, the water brush had a bit of glitter on it in the bristles. So let me just try and get some of that out. Okay, let's have another go and try and do this with water. Blue. No, it's maybe picking up a little bit of the pigment, but not enough, you know, for me to really say that these are you know, any good to try with a water brush. Maybe they would work differently on watercolor paper, so that's something we could maybe try in the future. But for this paper, it's just, they're just not blending with water. But when you use two of the markers in conjunction with each other, you can blend beautifully. And then obviously down here is where I put some of the pigment on the plastic palette and then picked it up with a water brush. So that's another way that you could use these markers. So that's in the Colorya Mandala colouring book. I will put a link for this book as well in the description for you if anyone is interested. So now let's try them out on some different paper. So this is Hannah Lynn Enchanted Faces pocket size book. These are printed on Amazon. They're printed on Amazon paper. So I'm just gonna use the image on the back, and we'll get the greens again, and we'll see how we can get them to blend. On this paper, I'm going to use exactly the same colours as I've used in the Colorya book. And we'll just see what we can do. So it takes a little bit of working out on this paper, but you can still get, oops, a really nice blend. That's lovely. Yeah, that's really pretty. So let's just finish off that piece of hair. And then if we want to put a little bit on the end, and then try and blend that in again. Yeah, perfectly doable. Gorgeous. I really, really love how these are blending. That is making me so happy. So pretty. Okay, let's try the pink and purple. We'll use these on a butterfly. So we'll go in with the purple there. Just a smidge here, and then blend it in with the rose purple. Yeah, see, that was just so effortless. Really, really effortless. So that's the true purple and rose purple. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this makes me so happy. Okay, so now I want to give these a try with the water brush pen. So I'm going to add a little bit of the true purple, and then let me see if I can. Yeah, it's just behaving the same as it did. It's not letting me pull that pigment at all. Can you see here? It's just not it's not wanting to pick that up. So we know that the water brush is kind of like a, you know, if you're trying to use it like that, where you put the marker on the paper and then blend it out with a water brush, it's just not successful at all, in my opinion. But if we put some pigment on a plastic palette or a glass cutting mat, whatever you have, put some pigment down and then use your water brush to pick it up from your palette and then paint it on. That works so much better. It works really, really beautifully. There you go. Yeah, really, really, really lovely. Okay, so let's try blending these. Let's try blending these blues as well, shall we? Why not? I'm having so much fun. These are great. Really, really good fun. Oh, I think I've used the wrong blue. Yeah, that's... Okay, try again. Cobalt blue, that's the one. Cobalt blue and ocean blue. I'm just going to overlap the colours a little bit and then pull that cobalt blue. Gorgeous. Really, really lovely. I'm impressed. I am really, really impressed with these. So let's just move the markers that I've used to the side and we'll compare on the two papers and see what we think. So this was the results on the Colorya mandala colouring book paper. So here is where I've tried the, you know, the two markers, blending them together here, the blue here and these pink and purple colours. Now the very muted tones here with the pink, the blue there and the green. This is where I used on the palette and then picked it up with a water brush to apply to the paper. And then here are where I've tried activating the marker. I've put the marker straight onto the paper and then gone in straight away with a water brush pen to try and activate it. It's not budging. It is not budging. Now, like I said, it may behave differently on watercolour paper, but I don't have any at the moment, I'm afraid. But that is definitely something I can try in the meantime. And, you know, yes, there is a little bit of bleeding, but I think so long as you go quite light-handed, you should be okay. But just bear in mind that this is on quite thick paper, so you may be better off on single-sided pages like these rather than pages that have images both sides. But yeah, they've worked really well in here. It's just a little disappointing that you can't, you know, they're just not budging when you're trying to move them with water. And then here is how they have acted on Amazon paper. So again, as you can see, they have blended beautifully. It does still feel quite wet, so it will need a little bit of drying time, but they've blended. Look at the green. Absolutely gorgeous. Here is where I put some of the purple down to try and pull it with water. That just was not working. And then here on this pale blue, again, is where I applied some of the pigment into the plastic palette and then picked it up with a water brush. So you can get some really beautiful effects with these brush markers. Now let's just have a look at the reverse of this. Yeah, okay, so it has bled through a lot. So because Amazon paper is quite thin, I kind of expected this anyway. Obviously you can see here where I tried the water, but that just didn't work. But where they've really bled through here, that is where I've blended the two colours together on the paper. So like I said, that kind of is to be expected. So what I'm going to do now is just zoom out a little bit. Move the books to the side. And bring the markers back in. So I think, you know, if you're interested in trying out markers like this, you know, the brush pens, this is a brilliant set to try. You get 50 colours and 2 water brush pens, and they are all kept really neat and compact in this really nicely made sturdy case. So I would highly recommend this. For me personally, the only downfall was that they are not activating on that paper with water, but that's okay. If we don't try these things, we're not going to know. But like I said, in a future video I will try and get hold of some watercolor paper so we can give them a test on that, just to give them a fair chance. But unfortunately I don't have watercolor paper to hand at the moment. So I just want to say a great big thank you to Colorya for thinking of me and sending me these beautiful pens to review and share here on my channel. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, I will put the links to purchase the brush pens and the mandala colouring book that I've used in the video description, along with the link to Colorya's Facebook group. If you haven't checked them out already, guys, please do. I'm sure if you purchase these, you wouldn't be disappointed. They're a lot of fun, and as you can see, there's a few different ways to use them as well. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this video has been helpful. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.